A look here just to talk through this little two-gamer. I'm not going to be available to do anything live today. I don't think we have anybody who's going to be doing the live for this two-gamer. So I'm just going to talk through it a little bit, go through, some things we can do, maybe some ways to get off the board. As you can see with these early projections, I'm just going to go game by game and sort of talk it through, and then we'll run a build and see where it gets us. So everybody is going to be super popular on Milwaukee for good reason. They're obviously down, still down Giannis and Dame Lillard. Make sure if you do set lineups to just double check before at 6:30 Eastern, just in case. We've seen it happen in the playoffs. These guys have, even with serious things, have been moved from doubtful to occasionally playing. So just make sure you keep an eye out for that. I would make Middleton a priority here, and I think I would make Portis as of right now. I really do like Beverly still, but I actually feel like this game you're going to see some other stuff. I wouldn't mind getting a little bit of exposure to the low-owned Andre Jackson again. I don't think it's always going to go the exact same way it did in the last game, and there's a chance he might be out there a little bit longer, but it's probably a reach. Connaughton would be the other one who I would use for value to start. Gallinari, I know he played minutes, but there was blowout minutes. They knew they needed to fill things in. They were going to let him play some anyway. I don't feel as confident about that one, so I'm okay with it. But I would rather be overweight the Connaughton, Portis, Middleton, and probably Beverly too. But I just am putting Beverly as just not quite on the full-on priority mix right now. I'm just going to take a quick look at a few things from the last game on my other screen. And I just don't, Gallinari played 13 minutes on the game before last, 20 minutes in the last game. Definitely viable at 3,300 if you needed some dumpster diving. But I think you'd rather go Connaughton. And I do think you're going to end up with 3 or 4 from Milwaukee at least as a starting point. I love Miles Turner again. Hard not to like him in this series. The guy has been awesome. I know that we got his first down game the other night. Other than that, he's put up, 35, 47, 45, 55, and then he had the 23 the other night in the blowout. I'm not worried about it. Go right back to it. I like the idea of one of Siakam and Halliburton. As of right now, I think I would say Siakam. Pretty close. It's pretty close between the two of them. None of these are must plays. Neesmith is value. As chalk, I don't mind eating. I love Toppin, but we've been playing him at much lower ownership. Nobody else who I feel like I need to play. Nembhard would be the next guy for me if I had to pick anybody. But one of Halliburton, Siakam, with Nembhard. And as you can see, you're going to get most of your other quote-unquote exposure from the first game. Philly and New York. I don't think Jalen Brunson – I don't know. I'm curious to see where he ends up ownership-wise because – question is, do you want to play the more middling guys from the Milwaukee, Indiana, or play the Brunson, Embiid, Maxey crew? And I think it's an interesting question. I'm still stuck on it a little bit myself. I like OG here. Nobody's going to make the priority list. I did think it was interesting that we got overtime minutes from Mitch Robb. Now they didn't win the game, so it doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to be playing 25 minutes again. It does have me a little concerned, though. It makes it Hartenstein lower, but Hartenstein is a good way to get different. If you're going to make a different type of play, remember they lost the last game where they had Mitch Robb back. Maybe Hartenstein continues and gets more minutes tonight. That's just something to consider. So I don't mind the idea of obviously either of these guys. Neither of them are going to be specific, like crazy high owned, and you're just trying to find little things to get different on these slates. McBride did very well the other night. I have no problem with that as a tournament play. I think that, they obviously like him. They played him down the stretch over DiVincenzo. We did have the early foul trouble right for DiVincenzo in the last one. But and then your super get weird play would be DiVincenzo because no one is going to play him. And I get it. Like it's been terrible, especially lately in this series. But there is always that heat check game that's coming. And if he gets hot, it's going to be harder for the Deuce McBrides to get on the court. So he's my favorite low-owned play, probably on the slate, just because there is the upside. I can see the path very clearly of how he gets there. On the Philadelphia side, oh boy, what do we do? So I really like the idea of getting to Maxey. It's interesting to me. Like he's not going to have every game like he did last one. I mean, he was so spectacular, especially down the stretch. I think he had I don't even know what he had at halftime, but it was not very much. He's put up 2 games that's over 60 in this series. You'd think that they're going to focus a lot. The offense will try to focus more on Embiid. I think Maxey ends up lower owned than he probably should be for what it's worth. So maybe playing Maxey over the Halliburton and the Siakam is a reasonable idea in a similar price range. Kelly Oubre probably just squeaks into the priority category because they're playing him down the stretch and everything. I don't mind these other guys. Campaign, you're hoping for those couple threes and get those 12, 15 fantasy points. I actually think Tobias Harris is at a price where I think maybe I put him ahead of Oubre. So that's where I'm at for right now. And then we're going to run a build and just see what the build gives us. Let me jump over here. Excuse me. Sorry, it's an early morning for us on the West Coast. When we already do a baseball thing, you have to do all the research. So I feel like I'm ready to go back to bed already. Anyway, we move on. All right, so let's just see what we can build. I'm going to build out for the lottery today and see what they give us. Let's see. We'll go correlation pretty high. And then we'll go contest sim settings, add contest sim. And we will make it for the shoot around. And let's see. Save settings. Okay. So I put the thing a little bit higher. I'm going to make it out of only 2,000 just so we can sort of get an idea. And we're going to see what 20 builds look like. Make this 47. Shouldn't be 44. I don't know why they default to that. It's too much. Like, I understand leaving money on the table, but you don't want to leave 7,000, 6,000 on the table. It just makes no sense in basketball. On baseball, you can leave whatever the hell number it is. Doesn't really matter. All right. Let me just jump over there. So let's see. I'm gonna see what they build us, but if I'm gonna let me do this first. 4, 3, and we'll do. Wait, no, let's not do that. I want to do this. This is what I meant to do. And we'll do 6, 3. All right, so let's run it. Let's run the sims and see what they give us. And then, well, first let's run the lineups, and then we'll run the sim after and see what they give us, just as an early look. I hope you guys have a good day. I hope again, leave the like, thumbs up. I really did poorly in NBA last night. Very, very frustrating. I had so much going in the Clippers game, and the game just got to be such a massive blowout. Like, even like the bench guys couldn't play for the Clippers. It was really, really frustrating. That's what you get with a couple blowouts, I guess. So low scores for the win yesterday, apparently. Here we go. Let's see. What are we getting? Oh, still going. I'm just going to take a look at my baseball thing to make sure that didn't miss any news. Don't believe I did. No. All right. So this is like almost like a day off. I'm not even sure I'm going to play basketball because I'm going to be gone, but if I miss any news, that I just couldn't live with myself. So maybe I'll try if I'm able to be around. All right, so let's see what we're getting exposed. Oh yeah, I didn't run the sim. Yeah, thanks, Remo. I appreciate it, but I hope I even play. That's the only problem. Lou always pulls his starters so much earlier. Yeah, Matt, it's true, but I actually have to say I think Tyronn Lue does a great job, so I can't criticize him too much just because I'm a big Tyronn Lue guy. So. Let's see, and we're going to run the sim, see what we get. Come on. And I'm not going to go sort through the ROA, ROI, and everything. I'm just going to show you some of the builds, and then we're going to go and see the full-on exposure. Trying to see who we got a little different with. You see the ownership just massively going for the chalk, even with the sims, leaving no money on the table. I just don't know how to win that way personally. Like, it's so hard to do. Beasley and Lowry, at least that's a little bit different. It's just hard on these two gamers, to be honest with you. I was stoked to get guys at less than 10% yesterday. It's just would have been nice if they left Westbrook in a few more minutes, get me 20 some odd fantasy points. Just give me 20 fantasy points, and he would have if he plays another 5 minutes probably. And I would have been in good shape. Wow, so they went full on the Embiid. I know I bumped his thing up, but it was only by 0.16 of a point. 95% Embiid. So they are going to have to be going for some value here. Nemhard being the most popular of the value at 80%. Neesmith, a little bit higher price, but valued 65%. The Batum, 35% McBride. Yeah, if you're going to get to Embiid, 25% Beasley. They're going to have to get to these guys. Only 20% Connaughton surprises me a little bit. Connaughton was very active and involved in the last game. That tends to play better at home, but still. Yeah, I agree, Remo. Like that's why, I think it's like they both have been cast as doubtful and unlikely to play. Just for what it's worth. I don't think that, if you had to bet, you're probably looking at like 25-1, 30-1 territory that either of them play. And if either one does, I think it would be Dame, not Giannis. But you never know. That's still a percentage. So that's sort of a quick run to see what you're getting at, and that it just really is hard to get different on these slates. I would probably get a little bit more exposure to Brolo because he's only 10%, but that's pretty much it. Anyway, guys, we appreciate you for tuning in. Thanks a lot. Again, just wanted to do a quick thing so you guys weren't left empty-handed today, but it's a pretty straightforward two-gamer, and I would try to encourage you guys to get off the board with plays such as DiVincenzo, with plays such as, let's see who we got here. Let's see who else we can find. These are the creative plays, so don't get crazy. Andre Jackson, maybe a little too creative, but creative. DiVincenzo, really nobody that I can stomach. Showdown, maybe you take shots with Ben Shepherd. Oh, actually, even is going to get ownership in the regular. Showdown, I would take shots with Ben Shepherd and McDermott as just a wild card. Hope he hits like 2 threes and for his cheap price, and you get there that way. I do like, I would want to play Brunson and Embiid together if you can, but I also think that Maxey is completely viable. But this is, my get weird play over here would be DiVincenzo or Hartenstein, both of whom have tremendous upside on what their current projection is. So that would be what I would do if I had to build one lineup. Probably play one of those guys. Most likely it would be DiVincenzo for me, and just hope he gets hot. And then on the Philly side, I really think that there's nothing that I can talk myself into that's off the board that makes enough sense. I even like, if Buddy Hield was like 200 in the showdown, then maybe you could consider that, but not for me probably. So anyway, good luck. I hope you guys all have a great day. Hope the golf is going well. Hope you have a great baseball morning, and let's get after it. Good luck to everyone. And I'll be in Discord if you guys do have any direct questions. I will be monitoring everything. I just am not sure I'm going to be able to play. I have places I have to be right before lock. So